Well, we're going to check some of the activities that are going on in the community of Pays Plat.
My name is John Zura. I'm the CEO for Pays Plat First Nation. I've been here, I'm going on my 16th year here. Today I'd like to talk to you about a few projects that are ongoing and a couple projects that are not too far into the near future. We have a water treatment plant project upgrade, which was funded through a cost share with Canada and Ontario, through Infrastructure Canada, the Green Stream project, as well as Indian Affairs through Indigenous Services Canada. We have signage out there already. I'm not, you'll probably have noticed, that was 1.9 million and then another chunk of money from Indian Affairs. The water treatment plant was initially completed in, I believe it was 1998. So, you know, the plant would be 25 years old now, and that's common for an upgrade. In order to deliver high quality water, which we are fortunate that we have very good water in the community. I mean, thanks to the team. We have 2 water plant operators here, which licensed operators, which is not always the case in Indigenous communities. They have problems securing provincially certified water treatment plant operators. So water quality is first and foremost, and with this upgrade, which was necessary, I mean, it's a sand filtration system, and the medium had been replaced since 1998, so basically 25 years. It was not only the medium, but there were other enhancements to the project, a chlorinator, an automatic chlorinator, where it would be chlorinated automatically rather than manually, and could remotely, there's some other features that allow you to monitor the plant through a computer from home. So that, in a nutshell, is the water treatment plant. But another nice project commencing maybe later this summer is the community hall upgrade project. That project is another $2.5 million. However, we've hired an architect and an engineer, design engineer, for that project. So we're in the planning stages of that project. We understand possibly we could start this fall, but ideally we'd rather start in the spring.
Next spring, we're going to be renovating the hall. We got some funding from Government of Canada and Ontario, I think, to renovate this hall and make the hall a little bit suitable. Do the indoor plumbing, do all the toilets and all the kitchen utilities and all that stuff, you know. Extend it a little bit for more room because we're growing.
So I'm Juliana Cavite, and so this is my mom's program. Her name's Linda Goodchild. She's program events coordinator, and she does healthy snacks. She does a hockey card tournament every month. She does a breakfast program for the kids in the morning before they go to school. She does community kitchen, which is, everything's done in here. So everyone in like the community who wants to come out will all come down, and then we'll like make something like shepherd's pie or meals like that, and then everyone eats and then takes whatever leftovers home.
We're going up to the new site where we're going to put rock up there from the construction of the passing lane MTO, 19 Hill. This is the new towers, right?
Another project that's not one of our projects, but the Hill 19, we call it, just outside of Pays Plat going towards Rossport. There's a passing lane as well as a highway realignment that they're configuring that. I know is a $48 million project, I believe, somewhere in that close to 48 million. And the completion date of that project is September of 2024. So we're another 15, 16 months away from completion. But that project's brought a lot of economic spin-offs for Pays Plat. We're storing a lot of the, we're getting a lot of rock, crushed rock out of the project because they're blasting vast quantities of the rock. So we're able to store it on the north side of the reserve. So as well as employment, there's employment opportunities for community members, as well as we have office space that we're renting to the contract administrators, which is Hatch, as well as a laydown area that we're renting to Bot Construction. So there's lots of economic spin-offs for Pays Plat, as well as the gas station, which we've recently taken over from private ownership. Pays Plat owned the infrastructure for the gas station, but a long time Frank Ashley Pinescom was the owner for 20 years, and he's since retired.
Okay, September of 2021 was when Pays Plat First Nation purchased Fortinger's gas and variety, and it became Pagwasheen gas and variety. Now, with the transition, I had to train a number of new workers that we employed here because, well, my dad was the owner of Fortinger's, and now that he's not here, my uncle Al decided to seek employment elsewhere. But we have a number of young fellows with us. We have a teenager, part-time. She goes to school and then she comes here after for part-time work. And we seem to have a good variety of workers from the community, from all the different families around here. Starting off with the gas and variety here that we'll be able to expand to through other projects, such as I'm hoping, a sign to help advertise the local events, as well as our gas price. But even if we have a sale going on here, I'm hoping that that'll bring even more customers in, even more tourists. Because in the summertime, we do get a lot of tourists come through here, especially American tourists. But sometimes we get a handful of English coins, such as 5, 10 pence.
We're having a meeting on November 1st, right, Jesse?
With Ontario Northland. They're a bus company very much like the Greyhound. From what I remember meeting them before, was that they service from Ottawa all the way to Thunder Bay, and their plans are to go towards Winnipeg. So we're hoping that we may become a stop for them, allowing access for some people who want to travel that don't have vehicles to go down towards Ottawa or even elsewhere.
One of the things we've done is formed an economic development corporation and called Pagwasheen Economic Development Corporation. The Chief and Council gave their blessing to the group. They're working at arm's length. They have a president, vice president, a treasurer, and a secretary, and they don't report to Chief and Council, although they keep the best interests of Pays Plat First Nation first and foremost. But they've taken on a lot of smaller projects. We have a highway maintenance, or not highway maintenance, but the roadside rest areas along between Pays Plat and as far, I think they go almost to Pitt River. But anyway, we maintain those wayside rests through cutting the grass, or some of them have washroom facilities. We clean the facilities, and that was a 5-year contract with the MTO. That actually, it came through Pays Plat, but we've contracted out to PEDC, as we call it, Pagwasheen Economic Development Corporation. They have, so that's one, that creates some employment every year annually for the crew, as well as some money for, the band gets administration dollars, and PEDC makes money as well. So that's one small economic opportunity. They have a lot of other small partnerships with TBT Engineering's one of them. I think Stahl was one of them as well. The Stahls.
Yeah, I remember them.
Out of Thunder Bay. I'm not too well versed in all of the joint JVs or partnerships that they have, but I'm familiar with a few because we originally worked with them, with these groups. So, but that PEDC is a good asset for Chief and Council and the community of Pays Plat.
So the top, like I said, Terrace Bay, right? On their beach there in the beach. And I said, holy God, Parks Canada. Talked to them there and said, you guys can go sail the dock here, why not? You know, you could help us along a little bit. We haven't asked much. So the Parks Canada said, sure, we'll put a dock here, a floating dock for us. They put a little dock here, so I say the kayakers could come here, canoe people could come here. When they go to Lake Superior, they could come in here. And yeah, these are solar lights, lights up at night.
Yeah, we had a duplex project, 3 duplexes, so 6 residential units, and we just completed them recently. I mean, there was a lot of problems with COVID and materials, and we actually stopped working at some point during that. So, but we're happy to say that they're completed and people are residing in the units now. So
the project was intended to provide housing, right?
Correct, but it had to be a multi-unit. It couldn't be a single residential unit. The funding stipulated multi-unit, so as such we had to build either a duplex or a fourplex. So we chose three duplexes. So, and they're the only duplexes on the reserve for that. So it's a good test project.
We had to make sure all the brush and try to drain the water out of there. The housing project, John Zera applied for this with the federal government through Indian Affairs, and Indian Affairs approved it. Maybe 2 or 4 years ago he applied for it, and he did the paperwork, he did all the design things and all the prints and all that stuff. He got people to work with him and he submitted it. John's a good handyman with us, as we call him, because he's a good worker, boy. Well, right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 duplex. Like a duplex right here. 3 big homes, right? We're still working on it because of COVID. All the order of supplies, we get our supplies from Scriber, Saberios, and that's how we keep working with Scriber and the town, by purchasing most of the material from the local supplier in Scriber. And we go Terrace Bay, Thunder Bay, all around. And our homes are done by our community members. They build it. Like Alfie Morso, he's one of the lead supervisor carpenters here. And Jeremy Greer, he's another one. And they work with John, the chief, and the council, and we all try to work together to build this place a better home for our community. You know, we put our First Nation people to work, and they can build a mansion, I think.
The medicine project I'm not too versed in. It was spearheaded by our environmental technician, Deb King. She's taken that project. There's a number of funding sources in that project. Trans-Canada Trails, Parks Canada, FedNor. These are all heavies, but primarily I believe it was Parks Canada. The initial monies came from Parks Canada, and then Trans-Canada Trail contributed a lot of money too, and I know the last small chunk came from FedNor. So, but it's a trail that's running, I think, is it 1,500 meters? I'm not quite sure, but in an area of the reserve that's not undeveloped, and very close to the lake, in a flood zone, as they said. It was never fit for, we could never construct housing or any other kind of infrastructure. So Debbie thought of a medicine trail with running through along the shore of Hill 19.
See where the water changes? Pawgashing goes down. It's with shallow, sandy water. We got a medicine trail all along the shoreline here. There is medicine plants in this area, right? So they eventually will be completing this. And it goes all the way along there. If you want to walk along there, we can walk. Before they started here, we did a ceremony. We believe all the plants are alive, right? When we first started this trail by the coordinator, Debbie King, and we worked with Parks Canada and Ontario Trails, right?
Originally, we started this trail about 9 years ago through funding through the Great Lakes Guardian program, and we were just getting, well, not just getting, we were receiving $25,000 a year to promote the medicine trail, and we roughed in a smaller trail, and then over the years we were able to get more funding, and we're now able to erect this wheelchair accessible boardwalk. So it will be a 4-foot wide boardwalk with handrails and curb stops, and this will also allow our elders to access the trail and then pass down traditional knowledge to our youth. And then the hope is that we will get a youth trained on interpretation, and then they will be able to guide hikes to not only our people in the community, other First Nations, and the general public as well. We're almost at the first lookout here, but there's going to be 3 lookouts that go right to the lakefront. The last one's going to be a 16 by 16, and then the first 2 here are going to be 8 by 8, but they're going to go right out to the lake. So you're going to be able to see all the interesting wetlands plants there. And then we're also going to be talking about the importance of wetlands and how wetlands are a carbon sink, and that we need these wetlands to help keep us green.
Gum from the tree, right? Black spruce gum or white spruce gum. And you use it on an infection, on a cut. It takes out the infection, sucks the infection right out. Oh, there we go. We'll go check the new playground area. That's our previous playground area that we had in Pays Plat. We're eventually going to probably do that eventually in the future. We work with the Chief Council to establish this. Then we work with the community, the labor force, to bring in the sand and level it all off, all in gravel, because as you can see, it's musky. You go down here 6 inches, you hit water. See, this is where they all work, these guys. British Columbia, Victoria, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. They've been all over the places.
It's a learning thing, so the kids see the province and the capital.
Yeah, there's a holidays in here too that kids can play on and stuff while they're in there.
Yeah. On behalf of the Chief and Council of Pays Plat First Nation and the community members of Pays Plat First Nation and all the young children and teenage children and men and everyone here, I'm very happy for the staff and wellness crisis mental health team from Northeast to help us and the chief and the hard workers of the staff. I would like to say an opening prayer. I'd like to pray, Wabanon, Sean again, Niguapanen, Kuwaitan, Noden, for the spirits to come and bless this ground, because everyone I believe has spirits. And this is the happiest day I see in Pays Plat. One of the productives working together and collaborating together with the Chief and Council and the staff and the community of Pays Plat First Nation.
Hi, my name is Kaya Morso Ferguson. I am the Family Wellbeing Program Coordinator for Pays Plat First Nation. And it has honestly been my honor and my privilege to be a part of this new playground for our community, being on the sidelines and, you know, navigating the different approaches to get this here for our children and youth. And it's just been amazing, and it's been a long time coming. It's been many years that we've been trying to get this for our community. A lot of our council and has been working for years to try to get something here, and it's been amazing to see it come to life. And yeah, and it's been my honor to work alongside the Northeast Mental Wellness and Crisis team, to have that relationship with them, to receive such a donation to get this started, and for Pays Plat First Nation to, you know, play their role in it as well. And as you can see, all the children are loving it, and it just makes me so happy. And yeah, it's been a really long time, and I remember being a little child and, you know, wanting a playground for myself, and I'm really happy that we can have this here for our children and youth, and for my babies to grow up with the playground as well. So
my name is Vanessa Bouchard. I'm on council for Pays Plat First Nation. Long before I got on council, I had a vision of a new playground for the children. I got on council and I've been trying to push for a playground for many years, but we just haven't been able to do it. And then last year about this time, we got the news that we would get a generous donation for the playground, and I was excited. Our old playground was not as safe as it should have been, and there's like lots that needed to be done, and I just wanted a safe place for our kids to play, and just something to keep them busy and occupied, and so they're not getting into trouble and stuff like that.
Well, it's all about the youth, you know. They're the next generations. Like when we were young, for me, there was nothing like this, you know. And when my boys were growing up, there was no playground. Their playground was the bush, you know. They would play, they'd make their zords, and now they have to find ways to entertain themselves. But now this generation of playing, our young ones, they have this, and they really appreciate it. It brings community spirit. It kind of brings it up, right? So, and seeing the faces of the kids, their smiles, their excitement, like as soon as they finished laying the foam down, the kids were so excited. They were so.
1, 2, 3. Cut the ribbon.
Yeah, in July we have our annual traditional powwow. It's a third week in July usually, and yeah, it's a big event. We're starting the planning already, and it's strategically placed between other powwows in the area, as in Red Rock and Pick River. Everyone has their week, right? So we don't overlap and get you know, that hurts the turnout if you've got two powwows on the same weekend for two communities that are 30 miles apart. Like that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's we're running again this year, so we hope to have a successful powwow.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching the sacred fire. We keep that burning throughout 4 days. We started Thursday. We let it go out when the powwow's out.